Today we get to drive a car that I've actually been really interested to have more of a closer look on, and that of course is the new 2024 Santa Fe Hybrid. This is the calligraphy edition, so top spec, 7-seater, really interesting looking car, and the looks have really grown on me. That's something that is, I think when it first came out, people either really loved it or they hated it. They're doing something different. The more I've driven it, the design has actually really started to grow on me. So I thought today we'd go for a drive, have a look at it. What is it like to drive? I've got to say I've been so surprised with how nice it is, and it's a Hyundai. So living in Western Australia, it really doesn't rain that often, but it's actually, surprisingly, raining at the moment. Which is very unusual, to be honest. Sitting in here, the first thing you think is just like, at least for me, it screams Range Rover, but way more modern. Really, really nice place to be in. Obviously, as this is the top spec, you get, as you would expect, nice features. So you do get like Napa leather seats. There's like this suede lining that goes the whole way to the back and the roof. You get like leather along here, nice material on the steering wheel, leather wrap steering wheel obviously. But yeah, I just get a sense of like Range Rover is the first thing I think of, which is epic. Before we go anywhere with this drive, I would like to say a massive thank you to Midland Hyundai for applying this car for test. Big thanks to them. If you guys are looking to buy your next Hyundai new car or this car, I will leave a link down below to the Midland Hyundai website. They have so much stock at the moment, worth giving them a ring. They'll help you out. They'll give you a complimentary coffee and they'll look after you. So yeah, anyway, let's go for a drive. My first thoughts of Hyundai, growing up at least, was it was always like a brand that was somewhat reliable, but would never really scream like, wow, this is a really epic car, or this is particularly luxurious. But this is the calligraphy edition, so you do obviously get the more premium features. You get this massive infotainment screen that runs the whole way along. It's curved as well, really, really nice. Obviously you get a digital dash. You get wireless charging in the middle, which is very, very useful. In fact, you get 2 wireless chargers in the middle. And even then when you go towards like the climate control in the middle, again, it just screams Range Rover. I love it, to be honest. This is like a really nice cabin to be in. Just from sitting in it, it feels like it's worth the price tag. Like it doesn't, it sounds weird to say, but like it doesn't feel like Hyundai, I guess. I think it just goes to show how much the brand has like upgraded everything from its interior to its obviously like the performance side as well. If you were looking at buying a second-hand European car, European SUV, I think a few years ago you would have been like, yeah, that makes sense to do that. But now if there's cars like this available where they feel nicer than a lot of those European SUVs that are available for a similar price tag, I'd absolutely go for something like this over that. You get the, perhaps like you could say like the European looks, but then you get the reliability of these cars. With all cars now trying to obviously get the safety rating as high as possible, it does bring in some features that obviously that are useful, but also that can be just a little bit annoying. And I think the biggest one that is just a little bit annoying to deal with, if you're even going like 1 or 2 kilometers over the speed limit, it will beep at you. And it doesn't beep forever, it will stop, but it is something that is a little bit frustrating. It also flickers on the heads-up display, and you can probably hear that little sound just now, and it also makes a flicker sign on the actual dash. Now obviously this is a good feature to have in a car. I guess it stops people from speeding, which is good. Of course you can actually turn them off in the settings, but again, every time you turn the car on you have to re-turn them off, so I guess it is a little bit frustrating. So there is actually another cool feature. When you indicate right or left, depending on which way you indicate, you'll actually get a camera that pops up on the dash to show you your blind spot. So obviously that now means that you have no blind spots at all. Obviously you can still use a mirror, but you also now get an actual camera that shows what's right next to you, and that's super useful, especially if you're driving a car that is pretty long like this one. It just means that you have no blind spot at all. And this, of course, is the 1.6 litre hybrid engine, and it's the all-wheel drive variant as well, so obviously you get power to all four wheels. So you have like your different terrain settings. You obviously got your different drive modes that you can go into. You do have a sport mode, an eco mode, and a standard driving mode. Again, with most cars like this that are not really aimed for performance, I think the point of having paddle shifters like this car does and the sport drive modes are kind of almost a little bit novelty. They don't really do much. In fact, if I change the drive mode to sport, and then obviously we're coming up to a corner, but pretty much if I put my foot down, I get a little bit more response, but all it's really gonna do is just rev the car out a lot. If you feel it actually makes a difference, and you can hear there, it just revs it out. And then if I want to change gear, I've got paddle shifters. You know, you're buying this car obviously for the safety, but also it's meant to be a family car, right? This thing has 7 seats, as you would expect. And again, even the 6th and 7th seat are also that same Napa leather. You can also even change your climate from the seats. So it's not like, you know, it's something you have to only do from here. They haven't really cut any costs, again, in this car, which is really, really nice. So even if you're sitting in the middle row or the back row, you even have your own sunroof in the back. There's 2 of them, so there's obviously one right above me, and then there's obviously one in the back for the kids. And again, another nice feature. So then if we're moving on to how it actually drives on the road, it's a smooth ride as you would expect. It's not the softest drive on the road, so you can still feel bumps and you can actually still feel the road, I guess, under the tires. It doesn't have adaptive suspension, so you can't, it's not like it's got air suspension or anything particularly crazy, but I guess that is a way to keep costs somewhat affordable. But going on to one of my favorite features of this car, and I've been doing a decent amount of driving this car, and usually I really enjoy listening to music in the car, but Hyundai have this great thing, it's called sounds of nature, and it sounds a little bit like, okay, weird, why would you have that? But it is a selection of different sounds, from like a rainy day to like being in the forest or a summer's night. And I find like I've been listening to these and they're really, really nice and relaxing. I think it's like, it sort of sums up the car in a way. When you get in this, you do feel relaxed. You've got like really a nice place to be. You can put on your relaxing tunes, and really, like, it's just, yeah, it's a really, really nice place to be. And in fact, I'll play a little bit for you now just so you can hear it, but it's really nice. Now, I would also like to pull over because I know that this car does have a relaxing seat mode as well, which allows you to pretty much lie down and look through your sunroof, and you can yeah, just sort of enjoy the view. So we will actually pull over pretty soon, and we will actually pull up onto this side of the road. Alright, so yeah, pretty interested to try this out. So pretty much it is on this side of the seat, and if we press it back, oh, there we go. Bit more, bit more, bit more, bit more. All right, so now I think this is our position that we can relax in. Then if we put our tunes on, we're gonna go for Harbourings of Spring. In fact, moment of meditation, let's do that. I'm gonna turn it up. I don't like that one. It's nice. Okay, how do we get back? Alright, that's good, but I feel like when you turn it on, it takes you further forward, and if your knees are anywhere near the dash, you sort of get squished a little bit. But besides that, yeah, nice, cool, very good, I like it. Okay, so this is another thing as well. So with this, you also get a digital mirror that you can use. You can simply flick it as well to get back to a standard mirror. But no, that's good. You can see everything behind you. We'll move on to another thing, and it's something that Hyundai have put through all of their new models, and that is this new shifting system. Everything is on the right hand side of the steering wheel, and it's like another stalk, and you push it forward to put it into drive, you turn it backwards towards yourself to put it in reverse, and then you press the button in on the side to put into park. And I don't hate it, but I feel like it should be the other way around. I feel like you should pull it towards yourself to put it into drive, and it should be pushed forward to put into reverse. I feel like, although it's opposite, but it's like playing a video game. Like when it's down to go up and up to go down. If you know what I mean? I just think that's something that would be a little bit better. Maybe that's just me, but that's what I think. I mean, I've got to say, overall, it's just such a nice car to drive in. Like, it is pelting down with rain outside, and driving through puddles fine, no worries. It's a really nice cabin. It feels cozy. There's plenty of space everywhere. I've said it a few times, but it just feels like a better version of a Range Rover, a more affordable version. And another thing with the inside, you get heated, ventilated seats. You get a heated steering wheel as well, which is really nice. Now that's out of the way, obviously it is a bit wet, so it's not ideal weather to test if it goes at all, but because it is a hybrid, and because it's a hybrid motor, you'd expect that it would have some type of go. But it would be interesting to see how this one goes. And he's just going to pull out in front of me. Nice one, dickhead. We'll just give them some space. Right, let's go flat floor. Not bad. Not bad at all, to be honest. That was not bad at all. That goes. That's a pass. That goes. That's good. You find as you actually build the revs, you get more torque, which is nice. So it's like quite linear. I think you'll find a car like this will start to really put it to some of those European luxury brands that I think are still holding on a little bit to the badge. Hyundai really upped their game in this, and I think it's pretty visible across most of their cars. But the Santa Fe, like, I would own one of these, 100%. 100% I would own one of these. And to be honest, up until the other day, I don't think I would have, just purely because I was like, oh, I've heard of the name Santa Fe, like I remember the older models, wasn't really for me. But this is nice. It's like, it's aesthetically pleasing, it's really comfy, the steering feels really good and engaging. There's no weird, cheap feeling materials around the whole thing. It's well put together. There's almost no piano black plastic. There's a little bit along here, but it's not everywhere. Everything's like a matte finish. It's just nice. Now, we do have a coffee cup to test the coffee cup on. As you can see, we have a coffee cup here. These are the actual cup holders. They're big, they're a strange size. I guess you could fit a huge water bottle in there as well, but this is a large coffee cup. Let's see if it fits in. So yeah, it's fine, it does fit. But the only thing is, like, these little bits here, like, I guess you can sort of put it anywhere, which is nice. This obviously is your climate controls here. You've got your wireless charger here, that works. Just chuck it on like that. She'll start charging. As you can see, it's charging, and you can also see Hope having a nap on my screen. Very cute. Right, let's see how quickly we can do this. Oh, fuck. Shit, that wasn't very good. So yeah, maybe if you're tossing up between, you know, something like this or a more like considered luxury car, like the European sort of car from a few years ago in that same price bracket, I'd say just buy this. You get the reliability of a new car. It's Hyundai, so it's going to go forever, and then you also get the luxury feeling that you'd get from the other SUVs out there. For me, this is the right way to go, and you should, if looking at buying something like this, go for it. You won't regret it. You've got all the different types of cameras you could want. You've got a 3D camera that, again, I would never use, if I'm honest, purely because it gives you a 3D view of the car, which looks cool, but there's also a big black box around it that would be covering anything you're likely to hit. So I don't really understand the point of it. Bit gimmicky, but yeah, whatever, cool. But the actual reversing camera is super high res. There's no lag to it. It works perfectly fine. It's blown me away, to be honest, of how awesome the actual car is. I'd call it a South Korean Range Rover, to be honest. Except way more affordable, better tech, nicer on the inside, and a better presence on the road, I reckon. So overall, Hyundai are doing it right. They're making epic cars at the moment. Massive thank you to you guys for watching the video and making these videos happen. If you haven't already, please go down below, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like and share the video, comment on it as well. And yeah, I think if you're in the market to buy one, definitely go down to Midland Hyundai, get in, have a test drive for yourself, and yeah, if you're gonna buy one, epic car to buy. And yeah, anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. So next video, so obviously, hopefully you guys are enjoying this type of content with different types of cars. Trying to mix it up as well, obviously, between the Yaris and this. So yeah, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.